Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. In today's video, we are going over our, I guess it's been a little bit longer, but essentially our monthly Sharkyfi updates, in which case I just showcase what positions I'm holding, how my month's been, how much I've made. We have just, once again, Sharkify has been my staple Solana growing method for the last 2 years. So if you guys are interested in the NFT lending, what you have to do is connect with your Phantom wallet. So connect Phantom Magic Eden. So you jump on board and then you can then find, so it doesn't have to be the same collections I do, but you can get some very attractive APYs and essentially you'll find a loan. Typically you choose between 3, 7 and 14 days. So like, let's use DGod's baby collection, a Ute as an example. You can look here. Active loans, there's 217 SOL, like that's already been lent out. There's some offers of like 39 SOL, and then the price is 1.42. So that's the highest offer that hasn't been accepted. The floor price is 0.159. So if we wanted to get in top of the queue, we'd be in at like 0.43. And then we would then need one of a Ute holder to essentially take our 1.43, and then in 7 days time he would then pay us, if we use the 1.43 as example, he would then have to pay us 0.026 in interest, or he would default and then we get the NFT. The beauty about the interest part is some people will wait the maximum duration of 7 days. Other people only need the cash like for the day, so they might pay you back in 1 day instead of 7. You do get those cases, but also when Solana moves or the NFT price moves, you have to be prepared in case you get a default. So only lend on collections that 1, you want to collect, or 2, you can then just see you like the team behind them, you like the project behind them. But yeah, on the other hand, if you own NFTs and you want to borrow, you can then just look. And so example, on my wallet right here, I have a Cyberfrog, I've got a Utes, I've got a Shark. So I can then just see the different rates and I can see the different offers. So for example, my Cyberfrog, I've got an offer of 1.58, and this Ute, I get an offer of 1.42. So we looked at Utes as an example, and then I would have to pay back 0.33 to the loan in terms of interest. So I could then borrow that 1.42, trade around, do whatever I want with it. But then if I want my Ute or my NFT back, I have to then pay the 1.42 with 0.33 additional in interest. So yeah, that's the NFT side, done and dusted. There are some really cool times, like I'll show you down here. I made a post about it. This was literally like 3-4 days ago. So you can see that there were people basically selling into DGod bids. So obviously I was just heavily looking at DGods right now, but if you quickly just check it out, oops. So you can see that the bid price or the instant sell was like 7.8 at the time, and then the floor price would have been like 8 point something, and then royalties push it up to 8.5. So people were dumping it into the 7.8 bids, so 7.76, and I was laughing because you could literally just go on Sharkify and there's a bid for 8.02, in which case you can get, you know, an extra 0.24. So you get a higher amount of Solana, and then you also get like 7 days where you can watch the price of your DGod, and if the price tanks, you can then just rebuy in with, you know, you pay that whatever 1 or 2% interest rate on that 8 SOL, but you can then sell your DGod higher. But if the floor tanks, you just let it default at a much higher price than your insta sell. So if you ever look to sell your NFTs and you want to insta sell, definitely first check out Sharkyfi. But now on to the new stuff. So if we just jump in onto Sharkyfi, you can see, well, one, in 12 hours time, they're going to have their new token lending. So check that out if you want to do that reminder. They just added dupe into it, which is probably what I'm going to look into do. But if you just check out some tokens, they now do token lending in USDC. There are a lot of meme coins. There's Steppen, Grass, Cloud. A lot of the tokens that you'll like recognize: Peanut, GigaChad, GoFundMe. There's the Sharky token, Jupe, JLP, Radium, Jupe, Pudgy Penguins. So you can see that you can now take and offer loans at, you know, an LTV of 85, 86%. Yeah, definitely a new cool feature, especially for like the whole Solana meme coins and the AI tokens. So if you want to just basically, if you want one, instant liquidity on your tokens without selling them, check out Sharkyfi. And then two, if you want to essentially offer some liquidity in exchange for some tokens, like I might do some for some Jupe, some Radium, some Pudgy. It could just be an easy way to pick up some cheap tokens. Once again, Sharkify has been my staple Solana growing method for the last 2 years. Currently, we've got 2 DeGods on loan and 1 Tesorian. We've just had a really, I haven't made too many videos because it's just been super stable, super quiet. I've just been what I deem blue chips, some Foxes, some Degen Apes, a bunch of DeGods just for the last month. You can see I've done 1, 2, 5 DeGods have repaid. I've got 2 more there. I did have a default recently, but it was all good. So we had 1 Tesorian that defaulted at 13.1. So if we quickly just go here and we go to Magic Eden. So let's just I can't remember what we did with this one. I don't know if I kept him or if I sold him, but let's just go Tesorians. And then we go to activity. So you can see there that I did sell it 20 days ago. So I got it, I sold it, and I sold it for just under as a loss, but that's okay because the price has significantly dropped in the last 20 days since then. And you know, sometimes you just got to cut your losses. This DeGod I definitely made a profit on. So you can see now the floor is 8.08 and it defaulted at 8.35. So they should have been paying me back with interest 8.5. So if we just quickly go to DeGods. And then we go bang. So it was a epic in terms of quality, but I managed to sell it, if we go to activity, at 8.7 sold profit. So I made a decent amount. Instead of just the 0.15, I got another extra 0.2 sold profit. So that was a pretty good win. But for now, we're just chilling. Got like 20 sol, just lending out and borrowing. Catch you guys in the next one. Bye.